up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. We're going to be talking about Shadows over Innistrad stuff today. I've already done videos all about white, blue, black, and red cards. Today we're going to be talking about green cards. I'm talking about these cards in terms of if you're going to a pre-release or in draft purposes. I didn't really know if that's what I should do, but I thought that that was probably the best way to talk about these cards, especially I don't know anything about standard. I don't know what cards are going to be used in standard, and I feel like talking about how they're going to use in other formats, it's so difficult to determine, so I figured this would just be the best way to talk about them. Let me know what you think about this, and let's get started. So this is in absolutely no particular order. Also, I'm not talking about every card because that would just take a very long time. But, okay, cool. So, like I said, in no particular order. First, we're going to be talking about Fork in the Road. Okay, cool. So, first off, this card could have easily just said, search your library for a basic land for 2 mana sorcery speed and put it into play, or, put it into your hand, whatever, and I'd be like, sweet, mana ramp, I like it. However, the card goes into your graveyard, and you're like, why do I want that? Well, we're talking a lot about Delirium in this set. You're going to want a lot of card types in your graveyard. This card synergizes really well with it. On top of that, you do get a basic land to your hand, which is really, really awesome if you're feeling adventurous and you're all like, I'll totally go tri-color in this set, which probably should really only be a 2-color set, but there's going to be some adventurous people who are going to go tri-color, and I'm probably going to be one of those people. But yeah, this card is really, really sweet. Mana ramp to begin with is just really awesome. Get your hands on it if you can, and it's a common, which is super awesome, so it's going to be decently accessible. Sweet. Okay, now we're going to talk about Intrepid Provisioner. Okay, so this card is really sweet. So it's 4 mana for a 3/3 with trample. Okay, sweet. Already I like it. Then on top of that, ETBs, you can give some other target creature +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah, this card is really, really sweet. I like it a lot. Cool. Now we're going to talking about Root Out. Okay, so this card is really sweet. This set has a lot of, in my opinion, pretty solid enchantments. I haven't even really looked at the artifacts too much, but this set has a lot of really solid artifacts and enchantments. So for 3 mana, you get to destroy something, which is pretty sweet for 3 mana. On top of that, you get to investigate. So you can sack something to draw a card. All around, this card is absolutely, absolutely amazing. Yeah, this card is pretty okay. I like it a lot. It's common, which is really awesome. Definitely something that you'd want to be picking up for your sideboard. This card's pretty sweet. Okay, now we're going to talk about Muldrif Scavenger. Okay, so, do you like 2 mana 3/4s? Because I'm a fan of that. I think that sounds like a lot of value. Basically, you get Delirium off, you have a 3/4. If not, if you don't have Delirium off or you don't have it off yet, it's a 0/4 blocker. The single block for days. This card is really good. Cool. Then we have Hinterland Logger. Okay. So this card is nothing crazy fancy, it starts off as a 2/1, okay, sure, fine, whatever, but then you flip it, and then it becomes a 4/2 Trampler for 2 mana. That, sounds pretty sweet. I like it a lot. Cool. Okay, then we have Clipwings. Okay, this is a really, really, really strong removal card in this set. There is so much flying around. That was awful. I can't believe I just said that. That was terrible. I was gonna say running around, but then I was like, let me make that awful pun, and alright, that was bad. Okay. Anyways, okay, so there's a lot of flying in this set, and for 2 mana, you basically make someone sacrifice something. Card's really, really sweet. Definitely a sideboard card I would look out for. Even potentially main board if you have room. This card's really good. Okay, I remember looking at this card, and I was like, this is a green player's dream card right here. Watcher in the Web? What? What? Okay, 5 mana for a 2/5 reach. That's pretty sweet. I'm liking that. Okay, can block a 7 additional creatures at common? What? This card is stupid insane. This card is absolutely insane. I honestly think they were trying to make up for green being kind of meh in the last block, because green was arguably one of the weakest colors, probably the weakest color. So they were like, let's give green some sweet stuff, i.e. this card, i.e. what? This card is absolutely crazy insane. Pick up as many as you can. This card is just a giant wall. It's a 2/5 with reach. It blocks flyers for days, and then it could potentially save you for several turns until they've got 8+ creatures. this is just one of those like really difficult to beat cards. This card is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to play green so I can play with that card. It's sweet. Speaking of really awesome green cards, Pack Guardian? This card's crazy. A 4/3 flash for 4 mana. Sweet, I love it. Then ETBs, you can discard a card, i.e. Madness, hello, and then you get a 2/2 out of it. This card is such major value. I really like 4 mana, 6 power, thank you very much. This card is awesome. Sweet. Okay, now we talk about, Solitary Hunter. Okay, so, you know, this card is just vanilla, but it's a vanilla 3/4 that transforms into a vanilla 5/6 for 4 mana. Just such good value. I think it's sweet. Okay, then we have Halpak Resurgence. Okay, if you are, like, on that, like, wolf-werewolf tribal flow, this is the card that you're really looking out for, because, alright, it's got flash. I like it. And then, not only does your team, your werewolves and your wolves get +1/+1, which is sweet in and of itself, they get trampled. And it's got flash, so it's super sweet. You're like going for like an attack or like a block or something, and your opponent's like, oh, kill your thing. And you're like, actually flash in this card, my team gets bigger, and it's get trampled. This card is just really good. Like, I keep feeling like I'm hating on enchantments, and I'm not, but like, a lot of times I just feel like enchantments are just such a waste of card, but you don't want your deck like drowning in enchantments, but you know, this card's pretty sweet. Okay, so speaking of enchantments, we have Unelven Mysteries. Okay, so whenever non-token things die, you get to investigate. Okay, sweet, I already like it. That sounds really awesome. And then, whenever you sack a clue, you get a 1/1 token. Yeah? Like, this card could have had, like, just one of those abilities and I would have been pretty happy, but the fact that it's got both together is just absolutely insane. This card's sweet. Okay, then we have Cult of the Waxing Moon. If you're on that whole, like, yeah, let's make things flip and whatnot, you're like, okay, sweet. So then it's like, you got a 5/4, and then whenever anything transforms, not just creatures. I know there's a couple of, like enchantments and artifacts that transform as well. So you do that, and you transform, and then you get the ability of the thing that transforms, and that's sweet. And then on top of that, whenever something transforms, you get a 2/2 wolf. Yes, thank you very much. That sounds really fantastic. This card's really good. Okay, then we have Moonlight Hunt. So, you know, yeah, like, removal in green tends to usually not be one of the strongest things. You don't have, like, a lot of times, like, straight up solid removal, like white or black. But this card is really awesome. You know, it's a fighting thing, and it just kills things. And you're gonna need removal. Then we have Gloom Widow. Okay. 3 mana 3/3s with Reach. Yeah, that sounds really good to me. This card just blocks things, you know, it's just really, really good. I would have been, like, happy enough if this was a 2/3, but the fact that it's a 3/3, it's gonna kill a lot of things. It's a really good blocker. The thing you'll notice in this set is you're gonna have, like, a lot of small things. There's quite a bit of small things in this set. There's a lot of token gen things. Tokens tend to be 1/1s and 2/2s, things like that. And you have a lot of small creatures, a lot of 2/3s, 3/2s, 4/2s, things like that. So, you know, you need some big stuff, and that's, you know, a pretty sweet thing. And, yeah, this card is big, and that is I forgot how to pronounce words for a second. Unelven Hydra. Unelven there's gonna be a picture here, whatever. Okay, I can't, sometimes it just, words they just don't come to me. Okay, first off. Alright, cool. Power toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Sweet. The set does not have that much mana ramp, so it's not like you're gonna be having, like, mana dorks like you did in Battle in Oath, where you have, like, Hedron Crawler and Scion tokens and things like that. So you get this off, you probably have 6 lands. It starts off as a 6/6 with Reach. I like it. Sounds sweet. Now, on top of that, whenever it ETBs, you get to search your library for a land, put it on the battlefield tapped. So already the thing becomes like a 7/7 or whatever. You deck thin, you get something else, you know, out of your deck and onto the battlefield, and you get a land card advantage. Yeah, everything about this card is really sweet, and I like it a lot. Awesome. Now we have Seasons Past. Yo, this card in EDH, though, I know I really haven't been talking about other formats because I said I wouldn't, but this card in EDH is insane. I'm going to put it in, like, all my green EDH decks because this card is just crazy. However, I'm kind of interested to see how this actually works in in this format, I feel like this card is pretty okay because, you know, you get a lot of things into your graveyard and then they die because you've blocked, or like, you know, they die in combat, or like your opponent kills them or something like that, and this is just graveyard recursion basically. And then you get to put Seasons Past on the bottom of your library, so like if you ever shuffle your deck for any reason, then you get the potential of drawing it again. Yeah, that sounds really sweet. I like it. Gloom? Okay, so I actually had to like take a minute to like read on Earth what this card does. Okay, so first off, what you get to do is you get to mill yourself, which is pretty sweet in a set that wants to do that. That's really awesome. I like it. And then, if you got Delirium, or if you get Delirium off when you play this, you're like, sweet, I have Delirium off. For 3 mana, you get a 4/4 Trample Hexproof. Yes. Yes. This card is sweet. I like it. Awesome. Then we have Traverse the Ulven Walls. Okay, cool. So basically, this card is like, okay, we talked about Mana Ramp a little bit before. Yeah, Mana Ramp's sweet. I like it a lot. So first off, ignoring the second ability, you get to search your library for a basic land, you reveal it, you put it into your hand. Okay, for 1 mana, sorcery speed, that's pretty sweet. I like it a lot. Okay, then you got Delirium. If you have Delirium off, you get to search for a land or a creature. What? What? 1 mana, I get to search for a creature and put it into my hand? Yeah, I would very much like to do that. This card is sweet. A tutor for 1 mana? What? Yes, I love it. Okay, then we have Silver Fur Partisan. Okay, so what do we have? We've got like 3 mana for a 2/2 with Trample. Alright, cool, I like it already. Sweet. So then, whenever this becomes when this wolf, or any other wolves or werewolves you have, become the target of instant or sorcery. And it's not just like instant or sorceries your opponents control, it's any instant or sorcery. So if you're running like whatever and you know you give this thing buffs or like anything like that, you have like that fight creature or whatever, like whatever, then you get a 2/2 wolf. This card is just all around such good value, I think it's sweet. Okay, then we have Obsessive Skinner. Alright, cool. So basically, what you're telling me is that when it ETBs, it's a 1/1, whatever. I get to like give something +1/+1. Okay, sure, I like it. But then on top of that, if I have Delirium, every single opponent's upkeep, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on something. What? That's so good. This card is really amazing. Sweet. I'm so excited for this set. You guys have no idea. Okay. I think that this card in the right deck is going to be insane, and that is Second Harvest. You have a bunch of tokens, and you just copy them. You make copies of, like, clue tokens. You make copies of spirit tokens, of wolf tokens, of, like, what? What? This card is just insane. This card is just absolutely incredible. And the fact that it's instant speed too for 4 mana is really sweet, because if someone goes to blow up the board or something, you're like, cool, make a copy of each of the tokens. Or like, say they go to kill one of your creatures or something like that, you're like, okay, cool, make a copy of all my tokens in response. Super great combat trick. I like this card a lot. Then we have Inexorable Blob. Okay, this to me reminds me of one of my all-time favorite Magic cards, and that is Kessé Cagebreakers. It's not Kessé Cagebreakers, and I understand and I accept that. However, it's reminiscent for me on Kessé Cagebreakers, and that's one of my all-time favorite EDH cards. I love killing people with that card. It's like the best thing ever. By the way, if you're not running that in EDH, you have graveyard stuff, you need to run that card. It is crazy. Okay, so this card is all like 3 mana for a 3/3. I like it. And then whenever it attacks and you have Delirium, you get to put a 3/3 casually tapped and attacking. Do you like that? I like that. I think that's sweet. I'm stoked for this card. Cool. Then we have Tireless Tracker. Alright, cool. So whenever you play lands, you know, it's casual, you get to investigate, you get some clue tokens. I like it. And then whenever you sack a clue, which you want to do, because who doesn't like drawing cards, whenever you sack a clue, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on this dude to make it bigger. And it starts off as a 3/2, which is pretty sweet. So this card just kind of like does everything. What I like about it is the card like synergizes and well enough with itself. If you notice that a lot of the other cards are like, when you sack a token, whatever. But this card just like does everything. It just kind of like, it, you know, you get a token. Whenever you play lands, You can get it off early enough so that you're playing lands more further on in the game. This card is just really sweet. And you're playing green, you've got a couple mana ramp options, which is sweet. And the last card we're going to be talking about, kind of one of my personal favorite cards, I think, in the set, and that is Soul Swallower. I'm a huge fan of the flavor of this card, but I'm kind of just all around a fan of, like, everything about this card. Okay, let's look at this. We got 4 mana for a 3/3 with Trample. Sweet, I like it already. Then, on top of that, when you got Delirium, at the beginning of your upkeep, you just casually put 3 1/1 counters on it. And then it's just got Trample, so it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, have just a giant thing if I have Delirium off. Like, this card is so dumb and ridiculous, and I absolutely love it, and I'm so stoked to play around with it. Like, I'm, like, looking at these green cards, and I'm just like, there's so many sweet green cards, and I'm just so excited, because, like I said, green really wasn't, like, a super big thing in, like, the last block, and, like, I think that green is, there's a bunch of really awesome cards, so I'm really excited for it. Alright, cool guys, that was it. That was it for talking about green cards for Shadows over Innistrad. Let me know what you guys are stoked for in the comments below about this set, and talk to you guys later. Bye.